life is a constantly evolving thing, and if you're not willing to learn, if you're not willing to try new things, if you're not willing to be resourceful and really use and you maximize on your capabilities in order to put forth out the best version of you, then I hate to tell you, you are not utilizing your fullest potential. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Being Her, where being her is truly just aligning with your highest self and remembering who you are, knowing your value, knowing your worth, and knowing that you are everything in the now. Today I wanted to go ahead and talk about a few different mindset shifts that really allowed me to just transform my entire life, transform my mind, and ultimately be able to transform my reality. Now, while I am still evolving, while I am still healing, I do want to keep in mind that everyone is not the same. So everyone has their own specific method and way that works for them. I am simply just here sharing my experience of has worked for me and sharing that experience with you in order for you to apply it to yourself. So without further ado, let's get into it. So there are a few different mindsets that allowed me to just really step into who I truly am. And every single day I have a new revelation about how I can improve, how I can be better, how I can, become more disciplined, be more aware, apply more of what I've already learned. And really being a woman, I'm so blessed to be a woman because it's really about evolving every single day. And as a woman, I feel like it's such an honor in order to be able to live throughout your femininity, but also be able to execute within your masculinity. I believe it's so imperative for you to be able to utilize both energies in order for you to really execute and live the life that you want. Earlier this year, I actually legitimized my first business after being profitable for about a year. And it really was a step that I took in order for me to not only prove it to myself, but also to really tell myself like, hey, you're in the big leagues now. You are putting forth that effort, and this is going to force you in order to be accountable. You can't just sit here and back out when you want to, and you have to be able to put your emotions aside and get everything done. And that was something that I had to force myself to do. They say that investing in yourself is one of the best things that you can do, and I could not agree more. Because every moment that I invest more into myself, whether that be physically on my maintenance, whether that be spiritually within how I go about my day and honor myself, whether that be through self-development, through courses and mentors, or whether that be through finances in my business and investing in accounts or, extra resources and just really overall knowledge. Life is a constantly evolving thing, and if you're not willing to learn, if you're not willing to try new things, if you're not willing to be resourceful and really use and maximize on your capabilities in order to put forth out the best version of you, then I hate to tell you, you are not utilizing your fullest potential. The simple phrase be, do, have. Now, those three words in that order means so much to me on a daily basis, and it's what I keep at the forefront in order to get things done, in order to stay motivated, in order to really allow myself to live fully and authentically within my best self. Now, I'm not saying that every day is perfect, but every day is most certainly worth it. It's not the fact that you go through challenges in life and they're considered bad. It's how do you perceive them? And now I look at everything as either a lesson or a blessing, but nothing is never bad. Nothing is ever a problem. Nothing is ever too big of a challenge that I can't face. Because when I think about my life prior to really focusing on myself, focusing on God, keeping God first, when I think about my life beforehand, it was a struggle. It was a struggle to want to be motivated. It was a struggle to be disciplined enough to get things done. It was a struggle to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I recognize that I have went through so many different experiences and struggles that actually taught me how to be the person that I am today, how to actually persevere and continue through and see it through. And so without those struggles, I would not be here talking to you. I would not be here pursuing the things that I'm pursuing within my life. And I would not be here as an example to help others along the same journey, because life is truly a journey. It is not a race, it is a marathon. And I want you to know, if you feel as though you are not in the correct place, I promise you, you are exactly where you need to be. You just have to shift the perspective. Instead of saying, why here, why now, ask yourself, what is this teaching me in this moment? How can I utilize this in order to make me better? What am I supposed to be looking at in this moment that maybe I recognize, but I'm not utilizing to my fullest capability? How can this moment be resourceful to me? How can I utilize this moment in order to elevate? Those are the questions that you have to ask yourself. I used to tell myself all the time that I was starting over, but it wasn't the fact that I was starting over from zero. I was literally starting over at a new level, because I already had the equipment, the knowledge, the capabilities from everything that I just previously went through, and now I'm applying them in a different way. And that is how you evolve, and that is how you continue to grow and learn and prosper. We do have. First, it's not about the physical action of doing more. Every single time that I did more, whether that be working more, staying up late hours, early mornings, like I was becoming so drained, so overwhelmed, having high anxiety, going through depression, just very much a shit show. And I was like, I have to do something. And I heard this from, his name is Myron Golding. He has a YouTube channel on here, which he talks about spirituality with business and how it is a beautiful financial relationship. But the Be Do Have method is also backed by another YouTuber that I like to watch. His name is Narrow Knowledge, teaching metaphysics as well as manifestation with a space. Being, hence being her, what are you? Okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and rip the band-aid off. You are not everything that somebody told you were. You are not your past experiences. You are not your accomplishments. You are not the embarrassment that you had in the 4th grade. You are not the girlfriend that got broken up with in high school. You are not any of those ideas, identities, or personifications that have been projected onto you. I want you to know that you are a beautiful, infinite being that was made from love, intention, and abundance. That is who you truly are at the essence of your core. And I would not be sitting here telling you some fluff. A few years ago, I probably would have. I'm not even gonna lie, in order to get ratings and watch myself skyrocket. But I want you to know that you are important, you are valuable, you are abundant, you are infinite. You are literally the essence of God, just experiencing yourself. So once you understand that that is what you truly are to your core, I believe that life is going to ultimately shift in the perspective that is more of likeness to that. But it is very difficult when you are viewing through a lens of struggle, scarcity, limitations. And I just want you to know that even if that perspective shift doesn't change today, there is a day that it will shift and a light bulb moment is going to go off for you. You're going to be like, that makes sense. Know that you are truly the essence of God, just experiencing life itself. And I want you to be able to go out in life and create the life that you want to live and enjoy and be proud of and happy with and fulfilled and feel all of the beauty and bliss and peace that comes with that. Being. I recognized that how was I being on a daily basis? Before I had this conceptualization of the be do have, I was very groggy. My moods were changing on a daily. I wasn't very consistent, and it was just really a roller coaster until I really got intentional about how I wanted to be on a day-to-day basis. And my being is, am I being calm? Am I being at peace? Am I being happy? Like, how am I feeling? How am I going through? How am I starting my day? One thing that helped me was not being on my phone until 10 o'clock or until I necessarily had to be. But within that first hour to hour and a half in my day, I do not have any devices on, and I am solely tuned in on to who I am. Another aspect that helped me into grounding myself into who I was going to be for the day was journaling. Making sure that I'm getting down all my thoughts and I am in a space of solitude and sound mind in order to do this. Another thing that helped me was to really have those moments of meditation, 5, 15, 20 minutes. 30 minutes is when it's a really good day, but after 45 minutes, man, I'm asleep. And you have to know yourself. Everything isn't for everyone. Another thing was, it's so simple, but a cup of tea over a cup of coffee. The warm, soothing goodness that comes with a cup of tea for me with the honey is just really, for me, it's the peak of who I am. Listen, I like a calm morning, even if that meant that I had to wake up a few hours earlier than the house. That's just something that I had to do in order to make sure that I was maintaining my being. Everything is not for everyone, and I want you to truly understand that. One size does not fit all. That's why you have to tailor your life for you, and don't let anyone tell you that there's only one way to do things, because that is simply not the case. There is multiple ways to do things because we all have our own individual lives. There is not two people on this planet that are experiencing the same exact experience the same. Do for you what is for you. Align with what is for you and block out everyone else. They are unimportant when it comes to the alignment for you. That goes into our next, which is the do. So, after we established what the being is, how are you going to be on your day to day? How are you going to be in your rising of your day, in the middle of your day? How are you going to be at the night of your day? Really curate a routine that works for you. There's so many routines out here. There's so many examples of things that you can do, but how are you going to do that best aligns for you? And you can tell when you're aligned with something because you are actually being able to be at peace or calm or happiness or a blissfulness. It's a very high energetic experience. Not the fact that it has to be excitement, but it's neutrality to excitement and joyous and just feeling whole and complete. That is how you know you're in alignment with what is for you. The more that I did, the more I got burnt out, the more that it was chaotic. I was going through anxiety, depression, overwhelm, overthinking, all of the things. And I was like, I have to cut some of this out. And as a serial to-do lister, let's figure out what can we do that's most essential. I take at least 15 to 30 minutes per day to get my mind and myself together, because if you're unable to be receptive, then there is just no point in wasting your physical day in order to do anything. Another thing that I implemented in my doing was my discipline run. And this was something that was actually a little bit difficult for me because I am not a runner. I actually don't favor running at all. But it was something that was hard enough for me to do, but I knew that once I got it done, it was a mental check mark in my mind to say, hey, you've accomplished this, you can do hard things. And that was something that I implemented on my own. I would definitely try to say, find something that challenges you, but allows you to be able to get it done. It doesn't need to be super easy, but it also doesn't need to be rocket science, and you don't need to overstretch yourself to where you're not even reaping the benefits of what it could potentially do for you. Once you make a promise to yourself, I need you to stick to it, because whatever you say is word, your word is law. No one else is going to keep that promise to you. Do not expect others to rise to your occasion when you're not even rising to the occasion for yourself. Next thing is have. Once you're being who you need to be in alignment with in your energy and your spirit, then that will enact you to do the necessary things in order to take place of whatever you need to get done, whether that's in your business. For me, it was in my business and in motherhood and being a spouse. I had to make sure that I was doing all of the necessary things, but it became less overwhelming because I created systems. It's never going to be easy, but you can always make it more manageable. And that is where systems and habits and discipline come into play. So what you're being is always going to be in line to what you're actually doing. It's never going to be the other way around. You cannot outdo who you are not being. Having of your reality that you want to experience is going to come. It's going to take time, and it takes for that constant momentum to be curated and to be constantly turning. So think of your day in 24 hours. You're going through completing your day, knocking out all the to-do lists. So you're starting your day by being, you're pouring into your cup by being who you need to be. Now you're aligned with the action of what you need to do for the day. You're doing all the things, you're pouring back in, and now at the end of the day, you're going into the having. Now you've ended the day with, you've completed everything that you needed to do. So now it's created that momentum. It's created that momentum and that effect in order to fill into the next day. And you want to make sure that you're constantly being able to complete. The faster you can be able to be and do, the faster you'll be able to have. The faster that you're able to be and do, the faster that you're able to have. So when you're creating that momentum, it's going to create a snowball effect. Just for instance, as you have a snowball and you roll it down a snowy hill, that ball is going to continue to grow and to gain momentum and to pick up more snow. So when you start really being in alignment across the board, physically, mentally, spiritually, you are going to be able to see a true change in your trajectory. You're going to be able to see a true change in your reality. And it comes from what you are putting out, how you are being. It first starts with being, then doing, then having, not the other way around. So I hope this video helped. I hope that you are able to find some structure for yourself and create a routine for yourself that makes it more manageable for you to be able to continue to build the life that you want. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. I know